Breaking news, Vikings fans. Buckle up, because we've got some huge news that just dropped on the Minnesota Vikings news channel. And trust me, you won't want to miss this one. The Vikings are sitting pretty at 7-2, but after that nail-biting victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars, there's one massive question hanging in the air that could shape the rest of their season. What's going on with the QB position? And is this going to hold them back from reaching the top of the NFC? Stick around, because we're diving into the most crucial aspect of this team's future. You'll be talking about this all week long. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, so you never miss the latest updates on your Minnesota Vikings. Trust me, you want to be in the loop for everything coming up. You'll thank us later. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. Here's a bold truth. You are what your record says you are. And right now, the Minnesota Vikings are a 7-2 team, sitting in prime position in the NFC playoff hunt. After that gritty 12-7 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're still on track. But there's one major thing we all need to talk about, and it's not the victory itself. Let's break it down. On paper, the Vikings dominated the Jaguars. They almost tripled Jacksonville's yardage, held onto the ball for what felt like an eternity, and absolutely suffocated their offense. The Jags couldn't move the ball against Brian Flores' defense, and on offense, the Vikings looked unstoppable, except for one glaring problem: the quarterback play. If you saw the final score and didn't dig deeper into the stats, you'd think the Vikings won this game by 20 or more points. But Sam Darnold's 3 interceptions inside the red zone? That's where the story gets tricky. Those turnovers killed 3 perfectly set-up drives, leaving fans with a bitter taste despite the win. So what does that mean for this team going forward? Look, we've been saying this for weeks. This defense is a monster. We knew Brian Flores' scheme could smother opponents, and now we've seen that firsthand. T.J. Hawkinson's mid-season addition was a game-changer. The Vikings have found new weapons, and the offense is capable of grinding out wins. But here's the hard truth. If the Vikings want to stay on track for a deep playoff run, Darnold can't be throwing the ball to the other team 3 times in a game. Now, let's put this into perspective. The Vikings are a team that could have 52 players who are 90% of the league or better. They're stacked across the board, but if they can't trust their quarterback to protect the ball, that's a huge problem. We've seen this movie before with quarterbacks who throw costly interceptions, and it's a roller coaster we can't afford to ride if we want to make a serious playoff push. But is it just bad luck for Darnold? Is it the product of an offense that's too aggressive at times? Or is this something that could sink the Vikings season? There's been chatter about Kevin O'Connell's play calling and whether he's doing enough to protect Darnold from himself. Yes, the offense racked up 28 first downs and ran 82 plays at 4.9 yards per snap. Pretty solid, right? But aggressive play calling doesn't always mean reckless. Could the Vikings simplify things and avoid putting Darnold in those tight situations? Maybe some of those risky 3rd and 1 passes or double reverses need to be dialed back. But here's the bottom line. O'Connell's only choice right now is to ride this out with Darnold. The highs are high and the lows are, well, really low. But who else is going to give the Vikings a better shot? Jacoby Brissett? The answer is no. Think back to O'Connell's time with Matthew Stafford in Los Angeles. Stafford led the league in interceptions one season and had his fair share of struggles. But when it mattered, he stepped up at the right time and delivered a Super Bowl win. Darnold has that potential, but can he cut down on the mistakes and be the playmaker the Vikings need? This is the NFL, where things change on a dime. The Vikings survived a massive blunder this week, but if Darnold continues to put the ball in harm's way, this team is going to be in big trouble. So what do you think, Vikings fans? Can Darnold clean up his act? Or is his roller coaster ride going to derail the Vikings' playoff hopes? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear your thoughts. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications right now. You won't want to miss any of our future breakdowns of the Vikings' journey to the playoffs. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you next time on Minnesota Vikings News.